Hello, my name is Amari Gamble. I play Doug. I'm also director, co-director, producer, and like every other thing that you can imagine for this show.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Perez, and I am also co-director, and I am playing Kayleen.
Okay, so what made you decide this show?
Well, you go first because you saw it before I did.
During my freshman year, I saw this show at a Trumbauer Festival, and it was just something that really spoke to me, and like it just stuck in my mind since then.
Well, I heard her talk about the show for years since we've been friends forever. So I was looking for a monologue to do for acting class, and I was like, I couldn't find anything. And I think, did you suggest the show, or did I just find it? Or?
I suggested the show after we talked about like your monologue.
Yeah,
and everything.
what I needed in the monologue. So I read the show, and I read it, and I was like, I love this character, I love this monologue, but I love the whole show, so I have to do it. And the ball just kind of started rolling.
How long ago was that?
Well, we knew, how long ago was it? It was first semester of college.
And we talked about it last summer.
We talked about doing the show last summer, but it was a different show. It wasn't this show. So then things happened, so we didn't get to do it. So fast forward, we still wanted to do a show. We're still looking for a project to do, and then the show came about, and we were like, yes, we have to do this show.
Now, it's not a very well-known show.
Not at all.
So, for people that don't know, which I guess is a lot of people, what is it about?
Very complicated. I'll give you the abridged version. So basically, Doug and Kayleen.
Don't spoil it.
Okay, I'll try not to. I'm really bad at that. Okay. Doug and Kayleen are childhood friends, and you see the beginning of their friendship in the first scene, and the show does not move chronologically. It jumps forward and backwards in age, so you see like them at different points of their lives. They reconnect. They've been away for several years from each other, then they come back together, and they're both kind of emotionally like unstable. So you kind of see like they fight, they love, they everything. It's very human. The most human show I've ever done, most human show I've ever read. Like Doug and Kayleen. It's not a pretty show. They're very, very human. And this is like, you know these people. You know Doug and Kayleen. You've seen them, like, you've seen relationships like this that are unhealthy, but also they kind of have to be with each other because who else are they going to be with because they're meant for each other? But yeah, that was rambling, but yeah.
So it's a very realistic show.
Very realistic, super realistic. Yeah, and there's, disclaimer, there's a lot of language in this show, but I have reasoning for not taking it out. I think these are the way these people communicate. People, it's the real world.
Well, that's how life is nowadays. People speak
Yeah.
it with that regularly.
People talk like that. It's not like it was years ago. You know, you have to filter everything you say. You say what you mean what you say. And these two characters, they let it out there. Like, they don't filter. And, you know, as a director, I couldn't change the playwright's intent. I couldn't change these characters. These aren't my characters. I didn't write the show. So if you're offended by strong language, don't come to the show. I'm sorry. You won't enjoy you'll that's all you'll think about. If you're offended by strong language, come to the next show. Come to the melodrama. But this show is it's tough, but it's life-changing.
What makes the show different?
I think it's different. You talk. I've talked so much.
You're just better at explaining it.
I just like to talk. I just like to hear myself talk about it. Do you want me to? Or okay. What was the question again? I forgot.
What makes the show different?
What makes the show different? I think that the show's different because I've never read a story like this, and I read a lot of plays. The characters, you don't get to see a lot of shows that show you the beginning and the end of the relationship. Usually you jump in somewhere in the middle. You'll jump in a random time, like when an event happens in a character's life, but this shows all of the events. You get to see, basically, if you pay attention from the beginning of the show, by the end, you'll be in on their inside jokes. You'll know what the characters are referring to if you pay attention well. Like, it's a hands-on show. Like, the audience, you have to be invested, you have to be willing to follow it and go on the journey with the characters. It asks a lot of the audience, this show does. Like I said, it's not a pretty show. It shows the scars, it shows the emotional trauma that happens in people's lives, it shows the hurt and the pain, and it also shows like the good times, it shows the fun, it shows the companionship, the camaraderie, it shows all those things. So you have to go along for the ride and come to the theater, escape in our show, and you'll enjoy it. We'll enjoy doing it for you, so hopefully you will.
So when does it run?
We open on Friday, July 13th, and we close on Sunday, the 15th.
What are the show times?
7, 7, and 2.
7, 7, and 2. What are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
I just think that it's something that hasn't been shown in this area before, and we're not just doing this just we want to do the show. We're actually like really invested in this and showing something new to the community.
Mm-hmm. This is the first show I've ever put on by myself. I've done a lot of theater, and like we both done a lot of theater, but we've never put our own money up, put our own time, like completely got the rights ourselves and made our own production. And having been through a year of art school, I was like, I'm itching to do something creative. I really want to, do something different and challenging. And it's been a year since I've done the show. I haven't done the show since last May, like a real production. So I'm like, I'm ready to get back on stage. I want to act and I want to direct and produce and everything. So
it's personal.
It's very personal. Lots of emotion, lots of blood, sweat, and tears. We haven't left this theater in the past week. Like, it's been rough, and we have a hard week ahead of us, but please come support and see our show, please.
What's been the difference in doing an independent show by yourself instead of going through a community theater or doing one in school?
Where do I start? First of all, money, because, you walk into a show, you're like, oh, a set, I mean, it's expensive. It probably doesn't cost that much. And then you go and you spend $119 on paint. You're like, oh, okay. Well, for a show that has no budget, we spent a lot of money on this show. When you're here, and you have set pieces that you didn't intend on having, you have to find things at the last second. You have to paint the set all by yourself. I've never painted before. I have to, I'm not that person. I don't paint sets, but now I do. So, you just have to do everything by yourself, and it's, it's difficult, but it's been rewarding so far. Like, just seeing, the show unfold, like the original music that we have. I didn't even mention that the show has an original score. You've never heard this music before. Designed by Chip Bailey, who goes to UNA, and he's incredible, and he made the most beautiful score. We're having like cool projection work. It's gonna be something that this area has not witnessed before.
Is there anything else you would like to say about the show to the people that come see the show? Anything about your experiences doing it? Anything you can say to make it more personal for the people to come see?
Only things I really want to say is please come with an open mind and an open heart, and be willing to go along for the ride with us, even in the moments that you might feel uncomfortable. Examine yourself and ask, why does this moment make me uncomfortable? Why do I feel this way? Ask questions. I hope that the audience can see themselves in these characters, and I feel like if you come to the theater with a willingness and openness to take in a message, you'll get so much more out of it than if you just come to see, Amari and Alexandra are going to fail putting on their first production, blah, blah, blah. Like, come with that, see if we fail, see what we do. I mean, trial and error, you live and you learn, but come and see if this show does something for you psychologically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, that's it.
You have anything?
I talk so much.
I also think it's very important that a lot of us this is very student led. We have our friend Colin, who just got back from
he just did his first professional show. He closed it at the end of last week, and now he's coming. He's ASMing our show, so he just came in today for the first time, and that's amazing for him to do. We've had like lots of people from UNA help. We've had a lot of our friends who are just students just like us who study theater and haven't ever put on their own productions are helping us a lot, and we couldn't have done this without them because this is very difficult to do.
So it's a lot of younger people coming together to put something together for the first time.
Yeah, and like I said last year in my Stanley Award speech, people in this area I find underestimate the youth a lot. Like, they think that we're not capable of doing our things and thinking for ourselves, and it's just not the case. So we have a lot of young minds and a lot of young creative people with a lot of talent, like people that we work around every day with this show. Like, the talent is just it's unquestionable. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about people seeing this show and seeing their work.
All right, lastly, what's the name of the play and who's it written by?
It's called Gruesome Playground Injuries, and it's written by Rajiv Joseph.
Okay, anything else?
I think I'm good.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.